Good morning. We need our coffee more and more as this week continues because there's a fast pace and it's getting late every night, of course, especially last night because after the second semi-final, Erik Bolks, we also had the exact running order for the final coming out. We're going to talk about that in this morning podcast. First, about that semi-final. What was the show like, in your opinion?
Well, I was in the audience and I'm surprised I've got my voice back. I've been screaming, jumping, and stuff like that. It was really a big party inside the arena. And with some countries, really the roof went off the arena.
Finally.
Finally, yes, yeah, it was so great to be together with people again. No distancing because everybody was tested. And the atmosphere was really, really good.
So, what do you think about the result in the end? I wouldn't say there were big surprises again.
No big surprises, no. I think I missed one in my prediction. I had Moldova in and Denmark out, or no, the other way around. Yeah. The surprises for me were that Portugal has been cheered a lot in the arena. Like I was surprised about that because I really think it's an awful song.
But still, when they at the first rehearsal it wasn't so enthusiastic, but it started to grow the Portuguese support within these weeks.
It did because it's a simple song, but it's typical because some people say the staging really fits the song, and other people say it totally does not fit the song, and seemingly the first group is winning.
Moldova is a qualifier, and actually they were all season long in many people's list and with the bookmakers. So in the end they made it, but still it can be called, if there was a surprise qualifier, it was them.
Yeah, because the performance was not that good. Actually, it went worse last night again. The jury final was not that good either. So that is, I think, a borderline qualifier. Just perhaps they slipped into the final, whereas on beforehand everybody would have thought, oh, Moldova is gonna be final for sure. So
Is it based on just on the song that they made it through?
maybe a little bit on the act as well, because the act itself is nice to watch. It's I don't think the people punished it for the bad vocals. So a little bit of the song, but I think most of it the act. So it's Philip Kirkorov's hand probably.
After the show, we saw Switzerland rise with the bookies. It looks like they made the biggest impression on the televoters last night as well. You could say with that. How far can Switzerland come this year?
Well, you cannot say it's because of the televoters because we don't know the results, of course. But they qualified, and it was so clear that the performance was very, very good. So he did very well. And maybe in the... Oh, sorry, that's my alarm.
You don't need it anymore. We're up already.
So what was the question?
Still need that coffee though.
So what was the question?
How far can they reach in the end?
Well, we've seen the draw, and now when you look at the draw, the semi-contenders for victory, as I might call them now, are bound together in a row somewhere in the middle. So it's... I would not be that happy if I were Switzerland. I would have preferred a slot much more to the end.
One more thing about last night, San Marino, the opening act with Florida. From what I saw on the screens, it got a huge vibe. It got the crowd going right from the start.
Yeah, it seems that the song has a big appeal on the audience in the arena. I was not that enthusiastic. I thought it was a mess, but that's me.
Could people at home also pick up on San Marino, also because Florida is here?
Well, do all the people know Florida who watch Eurovision?
I don't know.
Well, maybe they pick up, but I don't think it's an added value, actually.
It's the closing act in the final. Let's talk about that running order. Could that help them?
Yeah, sure. But it could also be that they put them at the end. We've had, at last spot, we had this Irish guy with the drums. What was it called?
Ryan Dolan.
Ryan Dolan, and he got a 0-pointer in the end. So sometimes last slot is the moment where people are already gathering their points, and so this country will get forgotten.
What are things that stand out in the running order for the final? We're going to see the rehearsals, of course, today. The first dress rehearsal, we will block every show element of that. And tonight, of course, we will talk about the vocal assessments, do our jury report on that final. But we have the running order since last night. What stands out at first sight for you?
The first thing that sprang to mind was Sweden. What the fuck? Why the second half or the last slot? It's a perfect slot to have, and I didn't think Sweden was that good, and I don't think it did that well in semi-1. So that one.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did better than everyone thought.
I cannot imagine that. No, it. I'm not like conspiracy theories, but maybe they were helping Sweden a little bit to get over the disappointment and try to get them into the top 10. Maybe I don't know.
What about the contenders? Italy, France, Malta, Switzerland. Those seem to be the four for the bookies to battle for victory on Saturday. What about their starting slots?
I think Malta is most disappointed.
Sixth
or fifth, something in the beginning. Italy and France really got really good positions. I think Italy is a niche market, so I would say a landslide victory for France based on this prediction and the first thoughts I had about it, because we have to see it in the running order. But France in between Ukraine and Azerbaijan,
yes,
both really upbeat and pulsing entries towards the end of the song, very energetic, dynamic, and then France comes with a soft and dramatic, in another way, chanson. Very emotional. I think that will really stand out.
How will Italy stand out coming right after the Netherlands, I believe?
Well, it will blow away the Netherlands, of course. It's a lot of noise. So I think the Netherlands will be forgotten by it. It will be remembered as well. So maybe they put Sweden behind Italy to make it forget.
It could happen. And we have seen, I think in 2016, we saw many acts at the end of the show and they all didn't impress. So the running order doesn't say everything, of course.
No, but usually it's an indication of what position they had in the semis, if they were from qualification. It doesn't say anything. It still has to do with the dynamics on the night itself. We get to see that today when we see all the songs in their running order, so we can make our minds up.
Does it say anything from the countries that draw first half from last night? Switzerland and Iceland kind of got the best possible slots you have when you draw the first half. Could they have been the numbers 1 and 2 of the semi-final last night?
Well, Greece could be one as well, but maybe there is this preoccupation of the Dutch people with Stefania, because when she performed, the roof went off as well.
Yeah, but the production team knows the exact results.
Yes, they do, but they also know that there's a Dutch audience.
Yeah, and they play into that, you mean?
Maybe.
We haven't spoken about a couple of countries, of course, and we will do that tomorrow again. But Bulgaria, we have spoken to Rob Ferber, professional gambler, of course, at Eurovision. He still, despite the fact that the bookmakers don't have them highly listed, he still has them in the back of his mind as a potential contender for victory. Bulgaria is somewhere way in the middle of the show, at the start of the second half almost. Are the bookies overseeing them, or are they really not a contender for victory?
I think I will rule them out for victory now, especially after Finland and where they're placed in the running order now. And also reactions from the audience were really, calm actually. I heard some people who watched the show said the vocals were okay-ish, but not too impressive. So I think they're losing out, and the bookies might be right this time. Although it's a shame, because I really like the act and the way it is portrayed. Yeah, I think it's now between France and whom?
Italy?
Not in my. No, I don't think Italy. Yeah, I think it's between France and France actually.
So Erik thinks it's not going to be that exciting Saturday night in the voting sequence, and that France will come with a swooping victory. Let's see how that goes. I was curious to see. We have the running order, but to actually see and hear all these songs in this order that we now just have, and see how that changes the feeling. We will get, of course, a peek of that at 1 o'clock Dutch time when the first rehearsal starts, and at 9 o'clock, of course, during the jury show, we will fully see how things will play out during the final of tomorrow night. We will take another cup of coffee now and tomorrow morning as well. Enjoy your day with ESC Daily, and let's catch up soon.